The Dragunov is probably the sniper rifle that's appeared in the most Call of Duty games, and that is largely thanks to how many real-world conflicts it's been part of and how many variants there are. Longtime viewers know I'm not the biggest fan of this rifle, but there is a ton of people who have a fondness for it and a love, and I'm going to show that off today. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. Today we're going to stack them all up against each other. What is up? Today we're going to rank every single Dragunov from COD history, from worst to best, and I want to be clear. We are counting every version of the drag, meaning the different names, the variants, they all count. So you let me know which Dragunov is your favorite. Drop a like. Let's see if we can hit 1,200 likes in the first 24 hours. All the people that comment every single day on my videos, go and attack that like button for me. At number 9 today, dead last, is the Dragunov in Black Ops. I think we can all shake hands and universally agree on this one. The Black Ops 1 is the hottest piece of garbage and strong contender for the worst sniper rifle in Call of Duty history. Heavy, clunky, didn't shoot very well, kicked like a mule for some reason, had a ton of idle sway for some reason, and it wasn't even close to being a consistent one-shot kill. I can understand a gun having all those drawbacks if it was really powerful. It would get you easy one-shot kills because then it would reward you for getting good at handling all the quirks. You could take full advantage of the big magazine, semi-automatic firing style, but the Black Ops 1 drag, no positives. Clunkier and more awkward than the snipers that actually could get easy one-shot kills, and yet, still one of the weakest snipers in COD history. It's not even like it was good for getting two-shot kills, because again, it kicked like crazy. It was wildly inaccurate. The fire rate cap was low. It was trash, front to back. It had no redeeming qualities, and we should all be in agreement it was the worst Dragunov, and now we're going to move on. At number 8, the SVO in Advanced Warfare. It was a bizarre choice for Advanced Warfare. I guess Sledgehammer thought it would be fun to mess around with it, and to their credit, the SVO was a fun gun to be goofy with, but it was never a gun you would take seriously because it just didn't work for the game's gameplay. Semi-automatic, one-shot kill potential, but the recoil was high, the fire rate cap was low, and it did not lend itself well to an environment where people were all jumping around bunny hopping and changing direction midair. Sniping was hard enough in Advanced Warfare, and it was the worst feeling ever trying to use a gun like the SVO to only land a hit marker on somebody and then they jumped out of your field of vision and got away, or they used their exosuit to zip over to you, punch you in the face before you could get the killing blowout. It wasn't nearly as bad as the Black Ops 1 version, and that is worth something, but you very rarely saw it online because even if you got your hands on it, it was DLC. There wasn't much reason to actually use it. It just wasn't. At number 7, the SVU in Ghosts. Now, Ghost had fun sniping mechanics and at least one fan favorite sniper, the USR, but the SVU went largely forgotten because of its somewhat awkward handling and that inconsistent damage. In a game like COD Ghost, where you could get killed in the blink of an eye, like snap, basically any distance, you needed a sniper rifle that was going to reward you for hitting your shots. Getting a hit marker with a sniper was basically a death sentence in this game because of how slow you were firing and how much you were restricting yourself by holding the scope to your eye, which that was a necessity of the SVD's playstyle. If you were going to run a sniper rifle in the game, you were running something that was going to constantly drop players with a single bullet and eliminate the risk of hitting someone and then getting hosed by them with their return fire, which means you were either running the USR or the Lynx. Nobody, and I mean nobody, was running the SVU because there was just too much of a chance you would get ripped apart after landing the hit marker. The gun itself wasn't bad on paper, but with the way that COD Ghost played, it just couldn't make a name for itself. At number 6, yes, we show COD Mobile love now, the SVD in COD Mobile. Now, this actually has potential, largely due to how slow the game plays, and that's not meant to be an insult to COD Mobile players. I'm just pointing out that the average COD Mobile player isn't going to be sprinting around the map, slide canceling, or anything like that, which means a weapon like the Dragunov could shine brighter, and it could, than being in a different game with fast average movement or jetpacks. The SVD can kill in 1 to 2 bullets from a safe distance, and if you're on one of the larger maps and you're holding down objectives, you can get some streaks. Definitely a little on the awkward side compared to other snipers in COD Mobile, but then again, the snipers in this game are just kind of awkward all the way around because you're using them on a phone screen as opposed to a controller or a mouse and a keyboard. I think it has potential. I think it's fair. Now we arrive at the top 5. The Dragunov in COD 4. Now this gun has been garnering a cult following. I try to see the appeal in hardcore game modes. It's kind of nuts. Always been a one-shot kill, of course. I mean, whatever. The COD 4 Dragunov has heavy sway, has recoil, but it would also kill with a single shot to the upper chest or head, had no fire rate cap, which did help it stay competitive in close quarters combat, and it also rewarded you for getting good at controlling it, since the follow-up shots were much more obtainable than other drags we've talked about. Now, compared to other semi-auto two-shot snipers in COD 4, which was the M21, it was harder to use consistently. But it also had more generous one-shot kill potential, and that is what, to me, really set it apart from the competition. Certainly wasn't a top-tier sniper in COD 4, and I don't think anybody would even try to argue it was, but at the end of the day, it was a solid gun. It had solid potential. At number 4, the Dragunov in Modern Warfare 3 2011. Now, this version of the Drag was basically just the MK14 on steroids, and that is the reason why a chunk of the Modern Warfare community, well, they actually liked it. One-shot kill to the head, two-shot kill to the body. But it also had this huge magazine, almost entirely vertical recoil, and no fire rate cap. It was almost literally just the MK14, but with a sniper scope on it by default. Most popular way to run this version of it, though, was actually with the ACOG scope. You could run around the map, spray people down, get insta-kills if you aim and hovered above the target's head, which actually happened pretty often because, again, the recoil on this version, all vertical, all up and down. Now, the MK14 was definitely the better gun overall because of the handling, the low recoil per shot, better close-range optics. But the Modern Warfare 3 Drag had a solid fan club. I mean, had versatility compared to other versions of the rifle, and we're not officially at the point in the ranking where the remainder of the weapons in question are going to be high-tier choices. It took a little while to get here, because there's a lot of mid-tier Dragunovs, but now we're officially in the good stuff. At number 3, the SVU in Black Ops 6. I've said a few times in a couple videos that people are sleeping on this, and I still feel that way. The gun is way better than you're giving it credit for, especially if you level it up a bit and you put on a mid-range scope. The SVU features some pretty strong idle sway, has hefty recoil by default, the handling speeds are on the slow side, but what you are getting in return is a very generous one-shot kill range that you can really get cheesy with if you level up a handful of attachments. If you get the SVU out of movement and speed and throw a 3 or 4 by scope on it, you can turn it into a monster for mid-range engagements. The one-shot kill range on it is generous, basically always killing a target with a single bullet as long as you hit them above the belly button, which is honestly kind of nuts for a gun that fires in semi-auto. Now, it does take an attachment grinding in order to use it optimally. That can be frustrating at first because it's clunky, but if you stick with it, you'll see what I mean. At number 2, the SVU AS in Black Ops 2 might be a hot take to say it was a good Dragunov because it was never all that popular online, but I also held the opinion that this thing was one of the most underrated guns in Black Ops 2, and I think it's the second best Dragunov overall. Extremely low recoil, super low idle sway, which made it arguably the most accurate Dragunov in COD history, as well as the easiest one to use. In terms of damage, 2-shot kill to the body, 1-shot kill to the head, so definitely had one of the smallest 1-shot kill ranges on the list, but with the accuracy being so good, I think it was balanced. Fire rate cap super high. Allowed for easy follow-up shots if you missed that insta-kill. The default magazine, pretty big, so you would rarely get caught with your pants down reloading the gun. And there was some really helpful attachments available back then. The ballistic CPU, which essentially eliminated all the idle sway, turned the gun into a point-and-click adventure. With how iconic other snipers in Black Ops 2 were, the Ballista, the DSR, the XPR, nobody really picked up the SVU as their choice to take into battle, but it did have the stats. If you were willing to play the game the way it was asking you to play, might be a hot take, but I think it was really good. And at number 1 today, the best Dragunov, why are we even doing this, in Call of Duty history is the Dragunov in Modern Warfare 2019. I think this is an easy one. It's not only insanely customizable, also has some of the most powerful base stats of any Dragunov we've talked about. In fact, I think this version of the Drag has the biggest one-shot kill range on this list, which is largely thanks to Modern Warfare 2019 having such a quick time to kill. The base Drag can get an insta-kill with a single bullet to the upper chest, and if you start loading up attachments, all bets are off. You could instantly kill people from across the map with no recoil while staying off the mini-map with giant magazines or quick handling speeds, and if you were a madman, you could get the Dragunov out for maximum speed. Treat it like the Outlaw from Black Ops 4. Run around the map popping people in the head one right after another without having to reload your giant magazine. It's not only the best base stats of any Drag in COD history, also had a lot of crazy attachments, and the gunsmith builds, they made it better. I think it deserves the number 1 spot today. I never thought I'd be talking positively about the Dragunov on my channel, but I kind of got forced into it given how much I hate the Black Ops 1 version, but here we are. Let me know where you agree or disagree, and I'll see you soon.